मुदीरयेत् शृण्वतं स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तना यद्दान्तोस्तुय भद्राणि विधुनोति सुहिस्सतं नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयति गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम्. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 1, verse 38 to 42. Verse 38. पुलहस्य गतिर्भार्या त्रेण सुत सती सुतान् कर्मश्रेष्ठं वरीयांसां सहिष्णुं च महामते. Synonyms: Pulahasya of Pulaha, Gati, Varya, wife, 3 and 3, Asuta, gave birth, Sati, chaste, Sutan, sons, Karmasrishtham, very expert in fruitive activities, Varyamsam, very respectable, Sahishnum, very tolerant, Cha, also, Mahamate, O great Vidura. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gati, the wife of the sage Pulaha, gave birth to 3 sons named Karmasrishta, Varyan, and Sahishnu, and all of them were great sages. Gati, the wife of Pulaha, was the 5th daughter of Kardama Muni. She was very faithful to her husband, and all her sons were as good as he. 39. Kratorapi kriya bharya balakilyan asuyata vishin sasti sahasrani jalato brahma tejasa. Synonyms: Kratoho, of the great sage Kratu, Api, also, Kriya, Varya, wife, Balakilyan, just like Valakilya, Asuyata, begot, Rishin, sages, Sasti, 60, Sahasrani, 1,000, Jalataha, very brilliant, Brahma Tejasa, by dint of the Brahman effulgence. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kratu's wife Kriya gave birth to 60,000 great sages named the Balakilyas. All these sages were greatly advanced in spiritual knowledge, and their bodies were illuminated by such knowledge. Purport: Kriya was the 6th daughter of Kardama Muni, and she produced 60,000 sages who were known as the Balakilyas because they all retired from family life as Banaprasthas. Verse 40. Urjayam Janjire putra vasisthasya parantapa chitraketu pradhanaste sapta brahmarsayo malaha. Synonyms: Urjayam, in Urja, Janjire took birth, Putraha, sons, Vasisthasya, of the great sage Vasistha, Parantapa, O great one, Chitraketu, Pradhanaha, headed by, they all the sons, Sapta, 7, Brahmarashyaha, great sages with spiritual knowledge, Amalaha, without contamination. Translation: The great sage Vasistha begot in his wife Urja, sometimes called Arundhati, 7 spotlessly great sages headed by the sage named Chitraketu. Verse 41. Chitraketu surosischa birajamitra evacha ulvano vasuvradhyano diman saktyadeo pare. Synonyms: Chitraketu, Surochihi cha, and Surochi, Virajaha, Viraja, Mitraha, Mitra, Eva, also, Cha, and Ulvanaha, Ulvana, Vasubhradyanaha, Vasubhradyana, Dyuman, Sakti Adayaha, sons headed by Sakti, Apare, from his other wife. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The names of the 7 sages are as follows: Chitraketu, Suruchi, Viraja, Mitra, Ulvana, Basuradyana, and Divman. Some other very competent sons were born from Vasishtha's other wife. Purport: Urja, who is sometimes known as Arundhati and was the wife of Vasishtha, was the ninth daughter of Kardama Muni. Verse 42. चितिस्त्वा अथर्वणः पत्नी लेभे पुत्रं धृताव्रतं दध्याञ्चाम् अश्वसीरसं भृगोर्वंशं निबोध मे. Synonyms: Chittihi, Chitti, two also, Atharvanaha of Atharva, Patni, wife, Leve, God, Putram, son, Dhrita, completely dedicated to a vow, Dadhyancham, Dadhyancha, Asvasirasam, Asvasira, Vrigo Vamsam, generations of Vrigu, Nivodha, try to understand me from me. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Chitti, wife of the sage Atharva, gave birth to a son named Asvasira by accepting a great vow called Dadhyancha. Now you may hear from me about the descendants of the sage Vrigu. Purport: the wife of Atharva, known as Chitti, is also known as Santi. She was the eighth daughter of Kardama Muni. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य स्थाने. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Thank you to give me the opportunity to read Srimad Bhagavatam to purify myself. I'm seeking blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas. I'll just summarize those 38 to 42 verses. We see today. Okay, so we see that Swambhava, Manu and Satarupa, they have three daughters. Akuti, Devahuti, Prasuti. Akuti married to Prajapati Ruchi, Devahuti married to Kardama Muni, and Prasuti married to Daksha. So Devahuti and Kardama Muni, they have 9 daughters. So, and we are like seeing the how like 9 daughters who has married one and how who are their like children. So Devahuti and Kardamamuni had 9 daughters, out of which in the first 38th verse we say about Gati. We see about Gati. Gati is the 5th daughter. She married to sage Pullaha and gave birth to 3 sons named Kamasrishta, Varyan, and Sahishnu, and all of them were great sages. She was it is mentioned in the purport that she was very faithful to her husband. So we have to understand here what message Srila Prabhupada is trying to give us. A faithful wife always serves her husband, and husband, by seeing her serving attitude, her devotion, her tolerance attitude, comes under her control. Similarly, the Lord sees the faith, devotion, tolerance, serving attitude in his devotees and comes under the control of the devotees. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4, verse 63, the Lord says, Aham bhakta paradhino hi asvatantra iva dvija sadhu virgrasta hridayo bhakter bhakta janapriyaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said to the Brahmana, I am completely under the control of my devotees. Indeed, I am not at all independent because my devotees are completely devoid of material desires. I sit only within the course of their hearts. What to speak of my devotee, even those who are devotees of my devotee are very dear to me. So a faithful wife, she usually is very tolerant towards the attitude of her husband. A devotee should be also very tolerant to happiness and distress. Tolerance, indeed, it's a, like, in fact, tolerance is a divine quality. Because in Bhagavad Gita 2. In chapter 2, text 14, the Lord says, Matra sparsastu kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino nityastam sitikshava bharata. O son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance is in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from sense perception, ocean of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. So whether it's distress or happiness, we have to tolerate both. It's not like we'll enjoy during the happiness. Okay, this is the happy period of my life, or let me enjoy. And when distress comes, we lament. The Lord is saying we have to tolerate both the situations. Means we have to be like happiness also we have to tolerate. The Lord is trying to say like we have to be Krishna conscious in both the situation. If we don't have faith in Lord, then it's very difficult to progress in devotional life too. Like basically here Prabhupada is trying to say like faithful. The faith is very required in progress to progress in devotional life. And in verse 39, we're saying Kriya was the, so we say Gati is the fifth, then Kriya was the sixth daughter of Kardama Muni, and she produced 60,000 sages who were known as the Balakilyas because they all retired from family life as Vanaprasthas. Oh, here the word Banaprastha is very significant. We know there are 4 different ashramas: Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Banaprastha, and Sannyasa. So, in what is the importance of these 4 different ashramas? Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 9, verse 26 describes the main purpose of ashrama dharma is to awaken detachment. The Brahmacharya ashrama is the training ground for the prospective candidates. In this ashrama, it is instructed that this material world is not actually the home of the living being. The conditioned souls under material bondage are prisoners of matter, and therefore self realization is the ultimate aim of life. The whole system of ashrama dharma is a means to detachment. So, why these 4 different types of ashramas are Krishna has Krishna this 4 varnas and ashramas is Krishna only created these things. So this mainly for detachment from this material. We are in this material world. How we will detach from this material world and invest ourself in like in devotional activities. Because of that only, that is the main aim of varnashrama dharma. One who fails to assimilate the spirit of detachment is allowed to enter. Yeah, once like brahmachari, if someone is not cannot this brahmacharya vrata brahmacharya vows, someone cannot fulfill properly or cannot follow properly, they are allowed to enter into the family life with the same spirit of detachment. It's not like Grihastha life is only for enjoyment. Grihastha life is also for detachment. Therefore, one who attains detachment may at once adopt the 4th order, namely renounce, that is the sannyas life, and thus live on charity only, not to accumulate wealth, but just to keep body and soul together for ultimate realization. So, household life is for one who is attached, and Banaprastha and Sannyasa orders of life are for those who are detached from material life. The Brahmacharya ashrama is especially meant for training both the attached and detached. So you see, Vanaprastha and Sannyas are mostly for detachment, and here we are seeing the 60,000 sages. They are like all were in the they retired from their family life and they go for Vanaprasthas. And in 40 and 41, basically, like in all these verses, we are seeing how they beget the children who are great sages, like great devotees of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 10, verse 28, Krishna is saying, Ayudhyanam aham vajram dhenu namasmi kamaduk prajanastasmi kandarpa sarpa namasmi basuki. Of weapons, the translation is, of weapons I am the thunderbolt. Among cows I am the surabhi. Of causes for procreation I am Kandarpa, the god of love, and of serpents I am Basuki. Kandarpa is the sex desire for presenting good sons. Therefore, Kandarpa is the representative of Krishna. So like if we enter into family life and we beget children, that's also like it's also part of devotional activities, because our aim is to produce Krishna conscious children. So Kandarpa is the sex desire for presenting good sons. Therefore, Kandarpa is the representative of Krishna. Sometimes sex is engaged in only for sense gratification. Such sex does not represent Krishna. Once we're enjoying, if we enter into Grihastha life just to enjoy, that is not Krishna consciousness. But sex for the generation of good children is called Kandarpa, which represents Krishna. So we can understand that sexual engagement to produce Krishna conscious children is good. So we see like how the different daughters of Devahuti and Kardama Muni, they married to different sages, and we get so like great sages. Their children were great sages. A few different like I found like for from verse 38, a faithful, a chaste woman, how she's faithful to her husband, how devotees should be also very faithful to the Lord. So they can progress in their devotional life. Then Banaprastha life, what is the importance of Banaprastha life, and what is the importance of this Grihastha life? These few key words I thought to describe. Yeah, with that, I would like to stop here. Thank you again for giving me